What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and I have a really cool budget nature aggro deck for you, which I'm going to take into the Mythic Weekend Ranked event. Take a look at this. It's only 0.01 ETH, which is about $25 or so. So I'm going to do a deck tech, and then of course I'm going to play a match for you so you can see how it performs. So one of the first things you're going to notice about this deck is its amazing price, and it is just perfect for newer players. So if you haven't downloaded Gods Unchained yet, then you're in luck, because I put a link in the description of this video that when you use that link to download the game, you're going to get free packs of cards. And to be quite honest, most of the cards in this deck I got totally for free the same way. Just downloading the game, getting the packs, playing in the weekend ranked events, getting more free packs. And so you can play this deck probably without spending the $25 that it's worth, because it's so easy to get these cards. Now, if you already have these cards in your collection or you're very close, you can come down and click copy deck code and just paste it into your game, and you're going to be able to play with this exact deck or make your own changes to it that you like. All right, now let's dive into what some of these cards are, so that if you're newer, you know what to look out for, or if you're a more veteran player, you know why I'm making some of the choices I'm making with it. First, let's take a look at the mana curve. You're going to notice something funny here. First of all, it's a pretty good looking curve when you consider that it's an aggro deck and you got this nice diagonal here, except we're missing a lot of 2-mana cards in here. But that's okay, because the god power is Animal Bond, a 2-mana summon a 1/2 Badger with Confused. And sometimes I'll use Selena's Mark, which is also 2 mana to deal 1 damage to a random enemy creature, and your god gains 1 life. But I think the Animal Bond is going to work better in this deck, so I'm going to use it more often than not. So let's look at these 1-mana cards that we have in here. First is Marshwalker. Now you might actually need to go out and acquire this one with the gods tokens that you've been gathering, or maybe you have some Ethereum from trading a card away, but it's a 1-mana 1/4. When it comes out on one of the first turns of the game, it's just so hard for your opponent to get rid of this card. And even if they can, do they really want to? Because it's only got 1 strength. But the problem for your opponent is, if this thing sticks around, it can end up actually dealing a lot of damage, and you can buff it, which if you do, that 4 health turning into 5, 6, 7 health means it's going to be really hard for your opponent to get rid of. And if it has any strength higher than 1, it's going to be a clock for your opponent. We also have Low-Hanging Fruit, which is another 1-mana card that kind of acts like removal, dealing 1 damage to a random enemy and summoning a 1/1 Vibrant Fruit, which, by the way, the 1/1 Vibrant Fruit, when it dies, gives +1/+1 to another of your creatures. So this card does a lot for 1 mana and can often be used in combination with this Vanguard Axewoman that's used sort of like removal. So at 1 mana, it comes down and can hit another creature right away. You're typically using it as like a little 2-mana burn, or a 1 mana 2 damage burn spell, but in combination with the Low-Hanging Fruit, you can take out things with 3 toughness potentially. And then of course you're always going to see Wild Hogs in these nature decks. It's just an amazing 1 mana 2/3 body that comes down. Awkward for your opponent to try and remove. We have Black Jaguars in here. You're going to see this in every nature deck, and this is what really makes this deck aggro, is having more strength and health than the mana cost. And you're going to see that especially through the 3 and 4 spot here. And you know, there's actually a few more 3 and 4 mana cards in this deck than usual for an aggro deck. There's a reason for that. And that's because I want to be just a little bit bigger than other aggro decks. Because the thing with an aggro deck is, if you're both playing it and all other things are equal, then you have a 50% chance of winning. But if your cards are a little bit bigger, and then your aggro opponent, you have a little bit of an edge. You can beat the other aggro decks, but it's also big enough that it hangs with the mid-range decks and the control decks that have lots of big creatures. All right, we have great removal in this. Canopy Barrage, dealing 4 damage to a random enemy, and then also Lightning Strike, dealing 8 damage to another enemy, which, by the way, when you can control the board with your creatures and be taking out their creatures, you can leave these to take out the really troublesome ones, or leave some of your creatures alive while all of theirs are dead. All right, here's a few more aggressive creatures. We've got a Rabid Bear, 3 mana, 3/4, but often comes down with an extra strength when it's frenzied. We have a 4 mana 5/5 Confused Overgrown Rhino, some Blade Flies, which are just about the only source of card advantage in this deck. It's not real card advantage, but kind of acts like it because you get 3 cards for 1. Starving Sabertooth, another just really you know, high strength health creature for 4 mana. We're starting to get to our top end here, which is Brazen Moose, 5 mana, 6/6 with Blessed and Confused. And this is really the biggest creature you're going to see in this deck here. A lot of nature decks you'll see run bigger creatures. We're not trying to go super big here. We're trying to be aggressive. So, you know, I don't want to have a lot of these early in the game because otherwise I'm going to be too slow. Now, the only epic card that we have in this deck is Falling Star. For 5 mana, give your opponent's strongest creature burn +6, which is a removal spell. You just got to wait for a turn for it to die. And then you summon 3 1/2 badgers with Confused, and your creatures gain +1 strength. This can actually be an anthem. The +1 strength comes after you create the 1/2 badgers, so they're really coming down as 2/2 badgers. But if you have other creatures out already, and I usually like to have maybe 3 creatures out already when I use this, they get pumped up and can deal a lot of hasty damage right away. And then the Hunt is just a really nice removal spell because you can often 2 for 1, 3 for 1, 4 for 1 your opponent, and that's just amazing in this kind of deck. I don't think I mentioned Hunt Warden yet either, but that's just a 3 mana, 3/4, just another really good costing card there. So now, without further ado, let's dive into some Mythic Weekend Ranked and see how the deck performs. All right, let's get that down. This is all good. Okay. Typically the war deck's going to have Protected. I was debating between whether I wanted Selena's Mark against it because that's good at pinging away the Protected, or if I wanted to try your best. Or if I wanted the Badger, but I mean the Badger's going to do something similar to Selena's Mark anyway. It can ping. It's actually more likely to stick around a little bit. Low-hanging fruit's great here. Or not.
Awaken.
So, I might... Marshwalker and Badger. Because then I can Canopy Barrage or Low-hanging fruit and Badger the next turn too. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. Low-hanging fruit is great here. We'll do another Badger as well. And now my goal is to keep all their creatures off the board.
Enough of these games.
Awaken.
Perfect. Right into my trap. So I can do this. Then I can do this. Put another Badger out. And yes, I would like removal. And to pass the turn.
The sun sets, the light fades, day or night, war endures.
That thing is huge. But I can get rid of it.
Be free.
And yeah, we are gonna try to beef up one of my creatures.
Let's see how this plays out.
All right.
Awaken.
Let's take this risk. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Now... yeah. Like I said, just need to keep all their creatures off the board.
Bow to none.
They have Soul Survivor in their deck, which will... you know, be something. This is actually a tough decision because I don't have a lot of control over what's going to happen here. Can I get rid of both things? Probably not. Do I maybe not try?
Like watching grass grow.
I didn't love what just happened there. Let's just put a lot of creatures on board, I think. No.
Let's see how this plays out.
I do have him relatively low on life, so... I guess he doesn't have Soul Survivor. He would have used it, right? Nah, he could still use it here. But it doesn't make sense. The board wipes, man. I did so good managing his board, and then I got board wiped.
Enough of these games.
So this does put my opponent in a little bit of a tough spot here, because if they want to kill my Vibrant Fruit, it makes my Overgrown Rhino bigger. So this is going to be good. This is going to be fine. Yeah, the hunt's going to be good next turn. The hunt is going to be good.
Awaken.
Get that 2 for 1. Let's get him low on life and then use this Lambasting Wand.
The sun sets, the light fades. Day or night, war endures.
Alright. Kind of like the idea of using Falling Star next turn, not this turn. So let's go with Black Jaguar, a Confused Badger, and the Lambasting Wand, and then just let that deal 2 damage each turn, so that should deal like 6. Oh my gosh. It's pretty bad.
Answer the call.
But ooh, this is good. So I can put this down and give it a +1. All right. Just need that lambasting one to survive one more turn. All right. So as you can see, this budget nature deck does have some legs in Mythic. So if you're interested in playing it, I did put a link in the description of this video to this GU decks page where you can just scroll down, click copy deck code, and paste it into your game. It remains to be seen whether or not this can keep winning through Mythic Weekend Ranked, but make sure you're subscribed because I'm going to keep playing matches, and of course I'm going to release them each day. And if you haven't already, if you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like the video as well. And I will catch you in the next one.